11 students were reported to be found drowning in ponds, but fortunately none was found dead, yet. Hi, and welcome to GeoMosaic, joined by your host today, me, Shangrila, and...
Gema. Moving on to the next topic, according to trustful sources, a crime has reportedly been committed, involving someone analyzing the relationship between Vietnam's geography and history and how that shapes its international relations.
Authorities has yet to provide details regarding the nature of crime or the individuals involved, but our investigation team had assured the public that they will be focusing entirely on solving the case.
Following research shared by our resources, our investigative team traveled to various organizations and institutions in Hanoi to identify the individual or group responsible for the alleged crime. Visits were conducted at key sites of learning, including the Women's History Museum, Blue Dragon Foundation, Vietnam National Museum of History, and Hue Lo Prison.
The investigation team unintentionally gained a lot of insight on Vietnam's history, spanning historical and modern challenges. The Hue Lo prison visit revealed a lot of the societal struggle that the society was facing during the French colonial period, as well as a sense of resilience in the Vietnamese national community.
While the visit to Blue Dragon Foundation offered insights in communal effort in solving problems and filling in gaps, attempting to resolve the issue of human trafficking, the visit to the Women's History Museum drew attention to women's experiences and roles in the community. These discoveries provided for understanding Vietnam's evolving dynamics and underscored the importance of engaging with diverse perspectives during our investigative efforts.
Here, exclusively at GeoMosaic, we share with you some of our declassified photo evidence from our small-scale investigation in Hanoi. After learning about Vietnam's history and social science, we furthered our knowledge and accidentally know that during wartime, civilians actually took advantage of the nature structure of limestone cave to hide in those during war times, which is why we decided to venture off to Ninh Binh caves to capture our criminals.
We did not find them in the caves of Ninh Binh, but we learned a lot about geology and the formation of limestone caves. Additionally, having visited the Asian capital of Vietnam, our group of investigators gained valuable knowledge in the Vietnamese folk religion, as well as brief into the grand history of the Vietnamese royal family. Then we got reports that potential suspects were seen in the south, so we looked for them in Pho Nha caves.
The caves were too big, so we were inspired to actually look into the demilitarized zone to eliminate any potential hideouts. And during our time there, we learned a lot more about the first ever emperors of Vietnam, as well as taking a closer look into Vietnam's modern history by going to areas covered by the Ho Chi Minh Trail and going to a military base museum as well.
Then, that's when our journalists discovered that artificial tunnels were used for civilian safety during the war, and the team decided to perform investigations in the Vinh Mot tunnels.
We unfortunately did not find our criminals in the tunnels as well, so that's when we decided that some of our criminals on the run may have sought refuge in foreign nations, so we decided to reach out to the embassies of Denmark and Canada.
After an intense collaborative investigation session with the embassies, we made no progress finding our suspect. We merely got overly educated for international relationships and foreign affairs. The experience brought us the critical analysis mindset and built on our problem-solving skills.
Following the feat, we decided to write out a briefing paper to advise other nations on this serious crime. And while we were presenting those briefing papers to our academic advisor, we realized that
we had learned so much, we were now criminals.
We committed a crime of analyzing the relationship of Vietnam's history and geography and how that shapes its international relations.
Catch us at our booth if you want to be educated by us.
Thank you.